This is the part 2 of the 3-part series of the console upgrade on my 1997 Yamaha RXG. If you guys haven't watched part 1, link is down in the description box below. You guys can check it out. I have shown the basic idea and the challenges to overcome to make this a successful project. Hey guys, Bratty Biker here. Hope you all are doing well. So in the first part, I gave you a basic idea or the visualization of how it would look when the project is completed, and I started first with wiring up the tachometer in a temporary way just to check if it is functioning properly, and thankfully it was. So when I went ahead, removed the old console and kept this new console on the motorcycle, immediately I was greeted upon with some challenges. So in this video, I'll explain the wiring of the tachometer or the RPM meter, and I'll actually start the work of sorting everything out and modifying the needed bits so that everything will be ready to accommodate this new meter console. So the back cover of the console is off, and one great thing about this is, especially when you notice the tachometer points, the connectors are not exactly soldered. They can easily be taken out and put back in, so that's a great thing. So what we need to find is what is the positive, what is the negative, and what is the source of this tachometer. So that's the color combination that we need to find on these wires. This is your source. This one right below, this is your negative terminal that goes to the negative terminal of the battery, and this connection right here, this red cable, this one goes to the positive side of the battery. This is a direct connection just for testing purpose. So you have one black, one red, and one white with a black line. So I need to make sure that this cable is safe, so I'm going to remove these and then take this cable out and use some of my custom wires and probably crimp similar connectors onto them. So let's go do it now. So now that the wires have been identified, I quickly proceeded to take a photo in case I screw up, removed the old wires, took the new wires insulation off, and I started to crimp. Crimping basically means joining some sort of a connector to a wire's end so that the work of connecting and disconnecting is easier. It helps in getting a strong and a stable connection. I've used this previously for my front brake switch video. You guys can check it out, and you can buy this tool from Amazon. Link is down in the description box below. So as you guys can see, the wiring is done. This is our black wire. You can see the red line because it was joined with them. So yeah, it's actually black, as you guys can see. This is our negative, this is our source, and this is our positive. So it's about 2 meters in length, which is plenty enough to route it through the motorcycle. So let's go and check it out, see if it works now. As you guys saw in part 1, I've already connected the tachometer to the motorcycle's main wiring system. So I then decided to mess with the wiring only to damage it, unfortunately. So I'll need to figure that out in the next part. Hopefully it doesn't become a big problem for me. After feeling like an idiot, I assembled the console back with its base plate and put everything back together. Okay, so now I've messed up on the wiring part. Let's get to the next problem. The mounting points of the base plate of the new console is entirely different compared to what Yamaha has provided on this old top T plate of the bike. I don't think I can change the new console's base plate, but I certainly can change the old top T. Instead of modifying this T, I'm going to change it over to the last model 135 top T. Thanks to Talvar Spares for sending over this. Costed about $700 for me. And the cool thing about this one is that it's a direct fit on the older Gen 135. But unlike here, where the mounts are underside of this T, here you have the speedometer console mount right at the top. And fortunately enough, it was a direct fit when it comes to the mounting of this with the much newer Crux or meter console. So that's what we have to do now. So we'll have to remove this handlebar, remove the top cabs, loosen up these bolts, loosen up this main bolt, and then we have to take it up, move it away, put back this T in, just put everything back in, and we should be sorted out with the placement of this thing. Meanwhile, I've also opened up the headlight assembly just to trace out the wires. Would be helpful when I actually start the wiring job soon. I loosen up both the ends of the T, and then I remove the handlebar's top mounts.
handlebar comes off, and then I use a hammer to slowly pry the old T off those forks, and then now it's out.
Here's your old T plate with the handlebar holders. Here's the new one. This is the last model 135 is one, as I said. So we'll be using these caps on top of them. So now there is no T plate on the bike. I'm just going to clean it up and then install this new T inside. So let's go.
Installation of this new T and everything is basically the exact reverse of what I did during disassembly. I put the T back, I tighten up those fork holders, and then I position the handlebar, put back its mounts, and then I tighten up them in an X pattern, crisscross pattern, so they go in evenly and don't break those aluminum threads. And then the main nut is tightened down. That's it. This new T has been installed.
The last model top T plate has been installed. It's a direct fit, as I said, and was not very tough thing. I am a newbie, so it took me a long time. But otherwise, if you guys are experienced, you can easily do it. Most mechanics can do it in seconds. So that's there. Apart from the electrical work that needs to be done, I just found out a really big challenge, a really big hurdle for me.
So when I tried installing this new console's base plate onto this new top T, few issues were again found. Cool, so now I can mount this new base plate to that new top T. Not really. Well, I did try installing, and sure, the mounting points matched, but the problem was clearance with the headlight assembly. The plate was just too low, so there is no space there for the actual console to sit. So that's not going to work out. Let's take a look at it.
The second problem, as you guys can see, is clearance. So this is just with the base plate. You also have a plastic cover underneath apart from the big console, and yeah, it's already very tightly packed. So what I did, a very jugaad thing, is I just added a bunch of bolts here to act like sort of a large spacer, so that I can kind of up this as much as I can.
That's not gonna work. You guys can also notice that the base plate is also slightly bent. Unfortunately, it's an old stuff, not brand new, so expected.
But still, clearance is a big issue. That the space here to the headlight dome is not enough at all. And as you guys can again see, it's a little tilted to the bike's right side due to the bend over here. So we'll see what we can do.
So I have to modify this base plate in such a way that the mounting holes should still match, so that the console can actually get installed, and the entire console should never touch the headlight assembly or hit the headlight assembly even when the bike is going over bad roads, very bad roads. So that's the next challenge. Here's what I have in mind.
I have two options. First option is to cut it from here and take this bottom part, invert it and re-weld it back. This bend itself will act like a curve ulta, so this itself will work as a spacer, so that should go in, and when I'm doing the cutting and welding process, I can correct the bends too. This is one way. The second way, which is easier said than done, is to just throw it away and get a new one.
That's not gonna work. As the first choice made much more sense than the second one, I proceeded in modifying the clamp, so I started by cutting it where I had mentioned. The next one that you see is called as TIG welding. So I have inverted the mounting point area, and then what the welder is doing is he's just welding just one spot, so that this gives us some time to check if everything is alright and to confirm before we can go ahead weld the whole thing.
Perfect, no problem.
As I had confirmed that everything is fine, the welder now starts welding a complete line where exactly the cut has been done, and what he does is that he welds both on the top side and at the bottom side. The good thing about this is that so that the welding work would be very strong, which is very beneficial, very crucial for us, because this welded area especially is going to have a lot of weight on top of it thanks to the console itself. Another thing is that the weight could move around, especially when you consider the fact when you're riding over bad roads, all the impacts are being transferred all over the bike. And since the entire console is much closer to the front suspension, it is going to move around. So we need to have good welding strength of what we are doing so that it all stays stable and just doesn't break one day. I'm very excited now that the welded base plate is back home. So I tried initially setting it up, and thankfully there is much better clearance now. So hopefully the console will not touch or hit the headlight assembly. So I decided to put back this modified base plate along with its rubbers for the console, and just to check if there are no issues there, and thankfully it's all well. You'll see it now. So this is how it looks completely assembled. As you guys can see, this whole thing has been reversed. That's how it looks. So now let's put on the bike and check it out. I'm actually very surprised that this jugaad of an idea worked. When tightening down the console, it fits perfectly and doesn't touch the headlight assembly. So for now, the fitting work has been done. I'm pretty happy with how it has turned out, except for the large gap in between where the ignition sits and the actual console sits. So this is something that will need to be rectified sometime later. But yeah, otherwise I'm very happy with how it has turned out. The next major challenge would be the wiring. So I'm waiting for a few parts to arrive. We have some cool stuff coming up for the wiring part, and once that stuff arrives, I'll start with the wiring job. So yeah, fitment is great. So here we are. The tachometer is functional. We've used custom wires and we've crimped them to wire them separately. We've changed the top T plate to accommodate the new console's base plate. We've also modified the base plate so that the new console, the entire console, will not touch or hit the headlight assembly even when the bike is going over bad roads. And finally, we put the entire console back together with its modified base plate, and we put it on the motorcycle and checked it out, and fortunately it's all coming together very nicely. I'm very happy with the progress. The next and hopefully the last part would be to wire everything up, including the lights. That part is coming very soon, so stay tuned for that. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please do leave a like below. Please do comment down your video suggestions or video requests. I shall put in my best efforts to get it done for you guys. Please do share this video with your fellow two-stroke friends. Do consider subscribing to the channel if you like these sort of two-stroke content. Keep the blue smoke alive. Bratty Biker signing off. Have a wonderful day.